Hey there, good morning everybody. Gulf Coast meteorologist Jim Dickey back with you with a Monday edition of Tropics Talk. Looking out across the Atlantic, happy to report it's fairly quiet out there right now. No named storms across the entirety of the Atlantic Basin, and just the one area marked for potential development now via the Hurricane Center. Looking at the wider view, a couple features to point out. This front, see that line of clouds stretched out from the Bahamas all the way across the central Atlantic. That'll become important as we go into the later part of our discussion here. This little area of thunderstorm activity east of the Leeward Islands, watching that, not expected to develop, but is looking fairly healthy with that thunderstorm activity right now. No, the area we're watching specifically for development is here in the center of your screen now. It's this area of thunderstorm activity. You can see it sort of starting to get a little more turning to it, get a little more organization. Still fairly separated thunderstorm activity, not coalescing just yet. I'm not seeing any signs this is, say, on the verge of becoming a tropical depression. But for the Hurricane Center, this has a high chance to exactly that, to become a tropical depression or tropical storm. In the next 48 hours, 50-50 shot for development. Over the next 7 days, a 70% chance to become at least a tropical depression. Yes, this has been designated Invest 95L, meaning we get our spaghetti plots on it, meaning we get the tropical models to be run on it. If and when this takes a name, the next name on the list would be Jerry. Let's dive into some of that model data on this storm, beginning with the GFS forecast model, just the individual operational model run here. The latest this morning. You see at the beginning of the run, it's a fairly weak and disorganized system. In the center of your screen now, you can see a few closed off isobars. You can see a little surface circulation. Yes, per the GFS, by tomorrow evening, this organizes enough to become a depression. I think it's probably a little quick with that development, but that's where things are trending here. And by the time we get to Wednesday evening, now this has a fairly well-defined low-pressure area. Still, not necessarily the tightest little circulation there, but a number of closed isobars. This continues to organize on the model here, and you have a tropical storm, if not a hurricane, east of the Leeward Islands by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon. Again, this is just one run of one model. Don't take that necessarily as ground truth. But I do think it's very possible we have a tropical depression or storm east of the Leeward Islands in the Thursday to Friday time frame. So those of you in the eastern side of the Caribbean should be keeping close watch on this system, should be monitoring the forecast, the progress of the storm closely over the next couple of days. Now, where does this go from there? This is the surface pressure breakdown from that same GFS forecast model. In blue, you have high pressure. In red, you have areas of lower pressure. So we have our tropical storm hurricane by Friday just north and east of the Caribbean. You have high pressure across the North Atlantic as you expect to find it. Note what you don't see, those darker blues. The strong area of high pressure. This has been a constant feature this hurricane season. The steering high pressure in the North Atlantic has been fairly weak and displaced more to the east, which has allowed these storms to recurve. You also have on this map that cold front, I pointed out earlier on. It has it breaking down north of Bermuda, but that front does more or less extend all the way down into the Bahamas still by the time we get to Friday. And that, combined with the weak steering high pressure, allows the storm to turn to the north. And you can see it when you look at the ensembles of both the GFS and the European forecast model. Remember, in the ensemble, you take that parent operational model, you tweak it a number of different ways, you get those variants, and you run them all out concurrently. Each line is a different sort of variant on the model, and there is remarkable model agreement. Just about every single one turns this northward. There's only one member of the GFS ensemble that tracks that westward. I would assume that that particular member keeps it disorganized, doesn't develop it, and then just drifts an open wave west into the Caribbean. Yes, anything that develops it turns this northward. Again, watching for Bermuda, but this would stay well to the east of the United States. That's the expectation here at this point in time. Much like Aaron, much like Gabrielle, Berto, Fernand, you name it. It's like just about every storm here so far this season. This one likely does recurve out into the North Atlantic and is not a threat to the United States. Again, the next name on the list would be Jerry. After that, Karen, Lorenzo. We sit at 9 named storms. Jerry would be 10. Remember, an average hurricane season features 14 named storms. Now, it's no guarantee we get to 14, but it is likely we see at least a few more named storms even after Jerry, before all is said and done. Remember, October tends to still be a fairly active stretch. You really don't see a downturn in activity on our yearly curve until you get to about the 15th of the month, and even then you truly don't see that drop-off in activity until the final days of October and as we go into November. So we still have a ways to go before we close things down. Of course, yes, the hurricane season continues all the way through the end of November. Anything out there the rest of the way, we'll be tracking it for you here at Gulf Coast Weather. Until next time, I'm Gulf Coast meteorologist Jim Dickey. Have a great Monday and a great